As you can see, Matthew's taking extremely good care of his pole.
Just giving it a trim.
Yeah, we always like to trim sort of in situ where we've dropped one, purely because to me it seems pointless carting back a load of poles that have got loads of branches on, so you're carrying extra weight that you don't need to be carrying. So yeah, trim it where you've dropped it, delimit.
Plus when you're carrying it back to camp, you don't want a stick impaling you in the neck or the shoulders.
Yeah, there's also that. But you're going to have to take those off anyway to use it for what we're using it for, so you may as well do it here. And some of this may sound like common sense or like obvious, but it's not obvious to everybody. So we just like to point some of these things out. So to you seasoned bushcrafters, yeah, obviously that would kind of make sense, but to some people it may not.
As you can see, I'm sporting the lumberjack look today.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I work all night and I work all day.
Right.
I'm sure there's a Monty Python song there somewhere. Oh.
Alright, so those are the two new Apex poles for the front.
Yeah, we chose to renew them, haven't we?
Yeah, well, the other ones were manky. That one over there. But they're skinned now, so we've just got to build a tanning rack and tan them, and then should be alright.
Oh! And as Negan called it, what was it? Nut tapping.
Oh, nut tapping. Yeah. Absolutely love Negan. Alright guys, so we'll be getting those up and on, so you'll see that new.
So just clear your hole out. Yeah.
Remember folks, always clear your hole out.
And remember, look after your pole.
Just not with a stick.
Yeah, you're getting all dirty then. Right, now, as long as we do exactly the same on the other pole, when you flip it over and put them together, they'll be fine. Now, once they're together, and you put them on the tree, and you mark to drilling into your tree, aye.
Camera skills.
It's so bright on my phone, it just reflects the light off the wood. Mega bright.
Yeah, there's not what you can do about that.
That's it. That's perfect. See, now you're stood in the way, you're like blocking enough light so I can see the wood.
Uh-huh.
That went through quick.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Stop fingering your hole.
Can't help it, I've got an itch.
See, he's at it again, look. Can't keep his bloody finger out.
It's the fibres, man, it's the fibres. Hello there, guys. Dog in them in now.
Hey.
We're glad to see the back of this tool, I really will.
It's been a very handy tool.
Can't wait to go back to cordage.
But you crap with lashings and knots.
But I hate cordage, but not as much as that.
Look, there's always some skill to be learnt, you know what I mean? Whether it's lashings, knots, ordering, and it does get repetitive. Remember how sick of tying knots we were on the gypsy bender shelter?
Mm.
Yeah, thousands of knots. Right. Think that'll do?
Yeah. Second to last peg in.
Yay.
Just got to peg that side. And she'll be done. Oh, right. Just peg, drop it in. Everything's super wet, so we've got to be careful, haven't we?
It's slippy, yeah. It's like bloody ice up here.
It might break, I don't know. Looks a bit manky at one end.
It's in. How secure that's going to be, I don't know.
Should be alright. Alright, you stay there.
I think it's perfectly fine. Just need to chop that top bit off. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, this is intentionally being made for hobbits, by the way.
Yeah, just have to set the top off that. Yeah, that's it. That whole front pole then just totally rolled. Like, totally, man. There. Yeah, I want a bit of an overhang at the front. Doesn't matter about overhang at the back, so it's the front.
That'll be all, guys.
The front
That's
pole,
the,
this apex pole, pull forward a bit.
That's the treehouse series done.
Just pull. That's it. Whoop. There, that's it.
No, I'm only joking.
God, I've got to be so careful up here.
Yeah,
I really don't like filming up here. It's one step back, boom. Ah!
Oh, what's it called?
Gone.
Is it benching?
It's quite high. Yeah, something
You
like that.
bench somebody where you go and
Yeah.
go and stand behind them and someone pushes you over them. Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, alright. Works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's obviously this side's a bit scunty.
Yeah, it's got all the trees are out.
Tree's thicker than that one.
Yeah, but you can't naturally plant a tree and get it to grow it 4 trees perfectly and square, and it's just nature, isn't it? You just got to go with whatever you go with.
I like wonky stuff though. I don't want it all. Go, shut up. See your face. You know, like the.
Is it not straight, Matt? No.
No.
Oh dear, oh dear.
No. I'm trying to think of something, but I can't think of anything.
Wonky carrots, yeah. So are we gonna now? Where are we gone? We're now gonna lash this to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we now need some cordage. We now need to lash that together.
So yeah, this was originally going to be the ridge pole, but we found a log that we got those 2 out of and the main one, so pretty good.
It was a bit younger and a bit less rotten, wasn't it?
Yeah, but as you can see there, guys, it's coming into shape now. It doesn't just look like a big ashtray in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, we can now just chuck a top over the top and you're pretty much good to go. But we do need some sort of bedding to go on the top of the logs because they are horrendous to sort of be on. Very slippy, very lumpy, full of gaps and holes. So yeah, we need maybe loads of twigs, little fine twigs, don't know, duff.
Keep going.
And possibly moss. Excuse me.
Nice.
Right. Anytime. I'll use this as one of the cross poles.
Yeah, we could do.
Already flat notched.
What, on the inside?
Yeah, so you can then pull the outside poles together to the inside, and that'll then trap the big logs in between.
All
like
right.
a vice. Yeah. The idea is get that set where you want it, height wise, and then build up your logs to the same height with the outside poles the same height or a little bit higher. So then you can lash from this around the top of those poles and pull them in. That then traps these logs in the middle against your tree pole, your trees. Yeah.
All right, see.
So it clamps them in.
Well, aren't they going to need to be longer?
I've just said that.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
you replace those with longer ones. They're just temporary for now. Replace those with longer ones. Build your logs up to about the same height. Then you can lash from this around the longer support logs, and then you can pull them in. As you pull those 2 into this, it then traps all these against your trees.
Yeah, so it's like a massive version of a fire break, basically, because that's what you do with a little fire break.
Pretty much, yeah.
You just bang two posts into the ground, and then
the solid trees with this pole on the inside, so then once you've tightened it all up, to squash it all together, so it all holds it in place.
Right.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, it's not like they're going anywhere anyway.
You know what I mean?
Because they're massive. So.
Well, they are. If they move, mate. You know what I mean? They're not perfect because they're all wibbly wobbly and wonky and what have you. But yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. And you don't have to go too high, or much higher. Just about there.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, we only just need to all get these in. You would thought you were done.
So guys, just a quick little bushcraft tip while I'm here. In the past videos I've mentioned about birch bark and using it as a fire starter, a reliable fire starter. I won't presume that you know what birch bark looks like, so I'm going to show you. So this is a birch tree right here. Now where I am in the UK, we have a hell of a lot of silver birch, but there's many different types of species of birch. I can only name two others off the top of my head. There's white birch and grey birch, and red birch. Now their bark properties are all the same. They all have high amounts of resin in the bark, just under the surface of the bark, and this is what makes it very flammable and easy for a fire. Now this one's absolutely soaking wet, but this branch here has snapped off the main tree at the top, so this is practically dead or dying. Now what a lot of people will do is they'll go out into the woods while they're out bushcrafting, and they'll just take massive sections off live birch trees, which we don't really like doing because it's damage to the tree, and that can leave it exposed to illnesses and infections like fungal rot, black mold rot, all sorts of stuff. And once a tree gets those types of things, it's basically dead, because at the end of the day the bark is the tree's skin, and that protects it from the elements, bacteria and funguses. So always try and get your birch bark from dead or dying birch, so you stay sustainable while you're out here. So yeah, all you do is find a piece that's already flaking, because birch bark naturally sheds its bark every year, and it peels off. I'll show you on the main stem or trunk if I can. Now you see these little flakes, obviously these are wet through, but normally they would be crispy and dry, but these flakes is what you want to pick at. Now as you see, that starts to peel off like that. It's a bit minging because it's wet. There we go. Like a bit like a scab. It starts to peel off, and ideally these need to be dry. But it's these little bits that you peel off that contain the resin. And if it's wet, you can still peel it while it's wet. It just makes the process more difficult. But you can take those wet curls, leave them in a bag in your house somewhere warm, for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, and they'll dry out and dry out and dry out. But the resin is obviously still in them, so they'll be perfectly usable. Oh, here's a bit of a dry piece. There you go. There we go. Like that. And that's what it looks like. And then obviously when you come to use it for a fire, you scrape it with your knife to get little bits of dust and curls, and then that'll light very easily with a fire striker or a lighter. So there you go guys, just a little tip there if you didn't know what a birch tree looks like and what the actual bark looks like, because I don't want to presume that you all know everything. This branch is still live, look, as it's green underneath. But yeah, hope you learned something from that, and we'll crack back on with the shelter.
is a bit. Get the line up.
That moved?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then that's not going anywhere.
Nope.
The upright poles on this side lash off and then just pull them to tighten it all up,
yep.
and that then grips these to the trees. And you know your wall's solid.
Cool. So this is what it looks like from up top, guys. Just your simple apex roof, lashed at either end, like so. So now all the framing work is done, because that's basically what we've been doing, getting all the foundations to the main shelter done. Now we can add all the things we need to add on to make it usable and livable. And like we said before, that's moss and debris for the floor. So then we have some kind of insulation on the floor and to soften up the hard logs. And then we've got to crack on with either making some kind of permanent roof that's going to be waterproof. So that'll obviously include a tarp, because there's no way we're going to be able to do some kind of debris roof all the way up here, because it's just going to fall straight off. And with the high winds up here as well, it's just going to ruin it. So we've got a couple of ideas that we'll probably share with you next episode. But for now, it's looking like it's just going to be a tarp, just for ease, because it's taken quite a long time to do this as it is. So but there's nothing wrong with that. It's still bushcraft, it's still bushcraft gear. So yeah, tell us what you think, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.